Hello friends. How are you? I hope you are always healthy and happy. Moreover, I came again to entertain you with the storyline of a film called Shinjuku Incident, 2009. This film tells the story of a Chinese technician named Taito, played by Jackie Chan, who deliberately goes to Japan to find his idol named Shushu, played by Jinglei Zhu. In Japan, Taito just found out that the illegal immigrants from China who were there lived apart from Japanese society in general. How was Taito's journey? Okay, before continuing with the movie storyline, please help this channel to grow by clicking like, comment and subscribe. Well, now let's just start the storyline of the movie. The movie opens with a policeman patrolling the beach. He finds a group of Chinese immigrants, including Taito, who is stranded on the beach with a ship that is sunk. After that, suddenly one of the gangs of illegal immigrants attacked the police and they all rushed away from the place. The scene changes again. It was seen that Taito was stealing clothes and shoes in one of the residents' houses, then he went by train to meet his village friend, Jie, who first arrived in Japan. After 2 days of walking, Taito finally arrived at Jie's place. Taito was also introduced to the fellow immigrants who were there. After that, Taito was seen starving, eating the food there greedily. Before long, Taito and Jie went to the public bathhouse. There were 3 people from the Yakuza who were bathing, reprimanding Taito because his voice was too loud. When Taito and Jie showered, Jie said that she had searched various places to look for Shushu, but Jie hadn't found her yet. Then, Jie told Taito to forget about Shushu. In the morning, they have to rush to find work. And finally, they work in a garbage dump. While working, there was seen a man buried by piles of garbage that fell from the top of the truck. They immediately helped the man. It turned out that the person was a Hong Kong resident. To thank him, the Hong Kong resident gave Taito a fake phone card. On the other hand, the Yakuza leader has died, and soon a new leader will be elected. In the election, Muranishi Kachi was appointed as chairman and Noguchi Toshinari as the new vice chairman. However, it seems that Tagawa Teru, who is his rival, does not accept the decision. The scene changes again. That night, several Japanese police, led by Inspector Kitano, were seen taking action against illegal immigrants working in the waterways. And at that time Taito happened to be working there. Knowing the police were coming, they ran away. On his way, Inspector Kitano slipped and fell into the water. Seeing this, Taito also helped him. After that, he left Inspector Kitano. The scene changes again. Taito was invited by Jie, along with one of their other friends, to steal. Then while working as a dishwasher, a beautiful woman named Lily gave Taito some money. After that, while Lily was walking, there was a group of men who bothered Lily. Luckily, Lily was saved by Taito. Because she saved him, Lily gave another amount of money to Taito. However, Taito didn't want to accept it and he returned the money to Lily. Then the two of them spent their evening at the bar drinking beer and chatting about Taito's destination to Japan. On the next day, Taito, who was working at the restaurant, Taito saw his lover Shushu, who he had been looking for all this time. Turns out, Shushu is married to Iguchi, the new vice chairman of the Yakuza. Instantly Taito's heart was broken. To vent his disappointment, Taito also spent his time drinking beer and making love to prostitutes there. The scene changes again. Taito is depressed because he can't possibly return to China, then he does illegal things to earn money. Starting from selling fake phone cards to manipulating a gambling machine. Until finally, Taito, who already had enough money, he presented a cart to Jie to sell chestnuts. Just as Jie had dreamed all along. The scene changes again. When Taito was at the shopping mall, he accidentally ran into Lily again. Then Taito gave Lily a bag, then took Lily to the house she had been living in with other immigrant friends. On the other hand, Jie, who was chatting with a woman from the owner of the restaurant there, suddenly approached the woman's father. Jie, who was accused of disturbing his daughter, Jie was beaten up by the men's men. A moment later, Taito came to the man with other immigrant friends and beat the man and his men down. Long story short, when Taito and his friends brought Jie's cart, which was confiscated by the man, the police came to them. As Taito was running, he was stopped by Inspector Kitano. Not to catch Taito, but Inspector Kitano thanked him for saving him when he slipped in the drain the other day. Then Inspector Taito gave his phone number to Taito in case Taito needed help. The other hand, the owner of a gambling machine, Goa, finds out that one of his gambling machines was manipulated. Then Goa plans to find the culprit. When Jie was selling with his cart, he told one of his friends to look after the gambling machine for him. Then, he was caught by Goa and tortured to a pulp. Then, Goa asked who told him to look after the gambling machine. Then, it was discovered that Jie had ordered him. After that, Jie was cut off his right hand. Taito is saddened by what happened to Jie, so he decides to go to Gowa's house alone. Unintentionally, while Taito was hiding there, he overheard the conversation between Gowa and Master Tagawa. Master Tagawa orders Gowa to kill Master Iguchi. A few moments later, Mr. Iguchi came. Without lingering, Gowa immediately took out a knife to kill Mr. Iguchi. Mr. Iguchi also had time to fight against Gowa. Unexpectedly, Taito also helped Mr. Iguchi and managed to slash Gowa's right hand with the knife. After Taito and Mr. Iguchi managed to escape from the place, Mr. Iguchi took Taito to his house. There Taito met Shushu. Seen there, Shushu already has a beautiful daughter with Mr. Iguchi. Taito also had time to carry Shushu's child. As a thank you, Mr. Iguchi will hire Taito for a high fee, no matter what Taito asks. However, after that, Taito refused the offer and asked Shushu to tell her husband that Taito didn't want to accept the offer. After that, Taito left the house. In short, Iguchi reported Tagawa to his leader. However, because no evidence was found, the chairman asked Iguchi to apologize to Tagawa. After that, Iguchi met Taito and asked him to kill Tagawa Teru and also the chairman, Muranishikachi. Taito also agreed on the condition that he helped Taito get legal status there and gave territory to the Chinese group. In the next scene, Taito launched his action. And that makes the Yakuza gang split into two. Long story short, after the death of Kagawa Teru and Muranishikachi, Iguchi was appointed as the new chairman of the Yakuza. According to the previous agreement, Iguchi finally gave the territory to the Chinese group to Taito. However, Iguchi's subordinate Nakajima Hiramasa doesn't want that and states that he hates his Taito group. The scene changes again. Finally, Taito ordered his men to run a legal business, such as a nightclub business with low rents. This he did to protect the Chinese citizens in Japan. That night, Inspector Kitano, who had been following Taito before, found out what Taito was up to and knew that Taito was part of the Yakuza. Inspector Kitano also gave him a warning and wished Taito to be a good person. Long story short, Taito runs his own business with Lily and they seem to enjoy the moment together. Unfortunately, on the one hand, Taito's friends, led by Jie, are showing increasingly disorganized behavior because they dare to run a drug business. The scene changes again. A Yakuza official knows that there is an increasing number of Chinese groups there. He realized that the group was formed because of Iguchi's role. In order to control the situation, the Yakuza officials tell Nakajima to take care of it. Long story short, Inspector Kitano came to Taito. He reported that Taito's friends were running an illegal business without Taito's knowledge. After that, Taito went back to meet his friends. However, his presence actually made him unappreciated by them and they asked Taito not to interfere. The next day, Lily invites Taito to go to Brazil and live a new life together there. Before long, Inspector Kitano came over to them. Because he didn't want any regrets, Taito told Inspector Kitano about the crimes he had committed there. From the conversation, Lily came to Taito and slapped him. Then, disappointed, Lily left the two of them. The scene changes again. That night, Nakajima and Gowa surrounded the Chinese group. In the room, there were also Iguchi and Jie. On the other hand, Taito and Inspector Kitano also came to them to stop the tension there. However, one of Taito's friends stabbed a knife into Taito and killed another friend. Finally, a fight broke out between the Yakuza gang led by Nakajima and the Chinese gang. Due to the chaos, Taito was injured. Meanwhile, Iguchi was shot by Nakajima. Before he died, Iguchi left a flash disk containing a secret file from the Yakuza. Long story short, Jie also died. Taito was shot by Nakajima. After that, Nakajima was also shot dead by the police who had surrounded him. While with his gunshot wound, Taito left the scene for the waterway, the place where he had saved Inspector Kitano. When the water flowed, Inspector Kitano held Taito's hand, then Taito gave him the flash drive from Iguchi earlier. Then, Taito's condition was getting weaker and carried away by the flow of water while remembering the moments he shared with his friends. And the movie is over. Thank you. Bye.